encouraging another president and so on, Guaido and all that stuff. And how long will these sanctions go on? I mean, it's generally speaking, are sanctions a good policy? I mean, one third of the world today is under American sanctions.
The foreign policy decisions that this administration will take, especially as it relates to Venezuela, they are going to be assessed based on the actions that Maduro and his representatives take, as well as our relationship with any other country as well. That's how we assess the foreign policy tools.
Now, I know my ladies in the crowd love their body. And if you want to keep loving your body, you know who to vote for.
Hey! Venezuela towards holding the election. Now, officials have also said that reimposing some of those restrictions on energy companies is not something that's under consideration. Is not under consideration.
So I'm just not going to get into the deliberative process. What I can say is that as it relates to Venezuela and the Maduro regime, we will continue to promote accountability to former those representatives. So as long as they continue repressing Venezuela and whatever actions the United States may or may not take, we will assess our sanctions policy towards Venezuela again based on the actions that
we talking about over here, y'all.
Representatives take.
Hey,
and that's what
if you love your body, let me hear you make some noise.
Process beyond that.
So Maduro is also
and if you want to keep loving your body, ladies, let me hear you make some noise.
In Latin America, acting in Argentina, he's also asked those countries to have their foreign ministries recall their personnel. Do you have concern, members of the opposition, from sheltering in the Argentine embassy for several months? Are you concerned about those officials at this point, that they could be arrested given their warrants after that?
Well, certainly, it is a circumstance that in which we are concerned about and we're paying close attention to. It is telling, though, that Maduro is breaking diplomatic relations with fellow Latin American countries who, like the United States, have simply ask for transparency, and it's something that those countries in the international community are looking for. And I think it demonstrates the Maduro regime's intolerance for dissent and a lack of commitment to the basic democratic principles that other regional governments are not just sharing and defending. And that is why, from the onset of this, since yesterday,
make some noise for Miss Harris, our future president. Let's get this done, Atlanta. Let's get this done, Atlanta. Let me come over here and talk to y'all. Because the real savages don't get out there and vote.
I'm a savage.
Better too nasty. Talk big, but my bank account bad shit. Good, but I'm classy. Rich, but I'm ratchet. Haters kept my name in their mouth, now they gag.
Bullshit.
It's a movie, I told that bro, we gotta keep it only me the room. I be playing the block and now it's hot. I'm too and I'm moving.
I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty, hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty, hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's happening?
Like Beyonce, like me, he wanna like the staggering with the knees. I told him,
Move it in the jeans.
even D4L couldn't do it like me. Ooh, I need a mop to clean the floors to a strip. I keep a lot, I keep a watch, I keep a whip. The play the game, Simon says I'm still it. Hey, still it. Let me hear you.
I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty, acting stupid, what's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty, hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage.
Voting for Miss Harris. I'm so happy to be here, Atlanta. We're about to make history with the first female president. The first black female president. Let's get this done, hotties. Hotties for Harris.
Please welcome Quavo.
How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? If y'all don't know me, I go by the name of Quavo. Born and raised in the north side of Atlanta, home of the Migos. This city has always been home to me, from playing in the streets and, you know, nurturing me and teaching me how to be the man I am standing before you. So, I mean, one of these issues that I care about is resolving the gun violence issue. And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business. From inviting me, what's up, mama? From inviting me to the White House last year to discuss these solutions to passing the biggest gun safety laws to date. So it's only right in the birthplace of the culture. It's also the same place to launch the first African-American woman to run for president. Yeah, we changing the culture again. So if you never voted before, make sure you get out and vote right now, because it's the real one. And in the words of my brother Takeoff, let me get a Kamala. I'm going to hand it over to Tyler the Green. Let him talk about his vote and introduce the next president of the United States of America. Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. My name is Tyler Green, and I am so honored to be introducing the next President of the United States of America, Vice President Kamala Harris. Just a second. Listen. As a proud Morehouse man, I couldn't be more excited to welcome a fellow HBCU alum back to the beautiful city of Atlanta. I first met the Vice President at the White House last year, where I shared my story as a young black entrepreneur. I talked about the challenges that I faced, the importance of investing in entrepreneurs of color, how we can work together to fight the climate change crisis, and the positive impact that the Biden-Harris administration has had on my communities. And it means so much to me to see a vice president leading with the same values of excellence, leadership, and service that our institutions instilled in us. Vice President Harris has spent every day of her career fighting for working people just like me. From her service as a district attorney, attorney general, and the United States the Senate. Not yet. To her leadership as vice president, she has served and spent every day of her career serving and fighting for us, the people. To name just a few of these accomplishments, she's fought for historic investments into HBCUs, she's fought for student debt relief, she's fought for reproductive freedom, she's fought for entrepreneurs and climate leaders like me. And I know that when Georgia sends her to the White House again, she will continue to fight for us. There's so much at stake in this election. We know that we can't afford to let Donald Trump and J.D. Vance enact their extreme Project 2025 agenda on our communities and send us to the past. And that's what Trump wants to do. Trump wants to drag us back into the past. But just listen, we have a champion here with us tonight. And she is going to lead our country into the future. Now, it's my honor to introduce the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
everyone. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Oh, it's good to be back in Georgia. Thank you, everyone. Can we please hear it for Tyler? I want to thank Tyler for that incredible introduction. I invited him and several other young entrepreneurs to come and visit with me at the White House, and we had a really very long and important conversation about the future of America. And Tyler, you represent the best of our future. Thank you for that. Thank you. And please give it up for Quavo and Megan. So it is so good to see everyone. And let me also thank our incredible members of Congress who are with us this evening. Senator John Ossoff, Senator Raphael Warnock, and Representative Nikema Williams. To Mayor Andre Dickens, thank you for welcoming me back to Atlanta. And thank you to the great Stacey Abrams. shit. So, Georgia, it is so good to be back, and I am very clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So let's get right down. So I'm gonna get into some business now. Okay, I'm gonna get into some business now. All right. So Georgia, as many of you know, before, and have a seat if you have a chair. As many of you know, before I was elected vice president and before I was elected a United States Senator, I was an elected Attorney General and an elected District Attorney. And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. So in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. Dealing with people like him my entire career. For example, as Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that was scamming students. Well, Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students. As a prosecutor, I specialized in child sexual abuse cases and sexual abuse cases. Well, Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse. And as an Attorney General, I held the big Wall Street banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump, guilty of fraud, 34 counts. So in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week. Any day of the week. Including, for example, on the issue of immigration. So I was the Attorney General of a border state. In that job, I walked underground tunnels between the United States and Mexico on that border with law enforcement officers. I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers that came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it. Administration worked on the most significant border security bill in decades. Some of the most conservative Republicans in Washington, D.C. supported the bill. Even the Border Patrol endorsed it. It was all set to pass. But at the last minute, Trump directed his allies in the Senate to vote it down. Right. bipartisan deal because he thought it would help him win an election. Which goes to show Donald Trump does not care about border security. He only cares about himself. And when I am president, I will work to actually solve the problem. So here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the border security bill that Donald Trump killed, and I will sign it into law and show Donald Trump what real leadership looks like. But make no mistake, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. Truly, this campaign is about two very different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, the other focused on the past. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity to build a business, to own a home, to build intergenerational wealth, a future with affordable health care, affordable child care, paid leave. And all of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because we here all know, when our middle class is strong, America is strong. And to keep our middle class strong, families need relief from the high cost of living so that they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. And yes, it is true that by many indicators, our economy is the strongest in the world. But while inflation is down and wages are up, prices are still too high. You know it and I know it. And when we win this election, here's what we're going to do about it. On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs. We will ban more of those hidden fees and surprise late charges that banks and other companies use to pad their profits. We will take on corporate landlords and cap unfair rent increases. And we will take on Big Pharma to cap prescription drug costs for all Americans. Our plan will lower costs and save many middle-class families thousands of dollars a year. But Donald Trump has a different plan in mind, one that would raise prices on middle-class families. Just look at his Project 2025 agenda. I take it you've seen it. Project 2025 is a plan to weaken the middle class. Be clear. And Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to gut our investments in clean energy jobs. He intends to end the Affordable Care Act, to take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You guys remember what that was? children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes. Georgia, America has tried these failed policies before, and we are not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. That's right. And we are not going back because ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we are witnessing a full-on assault on hard-fought, hard-won freedoms and rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to live without fear of bigotry and hate, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride, the freedom to learn and acknowledge our true and full history. And the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. Ours is a fight for the future and for freedom. And I don't have to tell folks in Atlanta that generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. And now, the baton is in our hands. Each and every one of us. And we love our country. We love our country. And I believe it's the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country. And so, we who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. We who believe in reproductive freedom will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans, and when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. So November 5th is in 98 days. And in 98 days, and let's level set. Friends, let's level set. We have a fight in front of us. We have a fight in front of us, and we are the underdogs in this race. We are. But you see, this is a people-powered campaign. Ours is a people-powered campaign. In fact, after I announced my candidacy, we saw the best week of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history. And if you go to KamalaHarris.com, you can help us build on that success. So the momentum in this race is shifting. And there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it. You may have noticed. So last week, you may have seen, he pulled out of the debate in September he had previously agreed to. about that. Here's the funny thing about that. So he won't debate, but he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. And by the way, don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird? Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say, say it to my face. Georgia, in the next 98 days, we have our work cut out for us. And this is not going to be easy. This is hard work, but we like hard work. Hard work is good work. So, Georgia, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States.
From Wilmington, Delaware, I'm Ryan Thompson, the Chief Mobilization Officer on the Harris campaign.
And I'm Victor Rubio Rivera, Deputy National Organizing Director. As Ryan mentioned, we're coming to you all live from Harris HQ following that incredible rally we all just watched in Atlanta. And look, folks, we have a great show for you tonight.
Not only are you going to hear from Vice President Harris herself, but also from two of the campaign's incredible surrogates, America Ferreira and Sterling K. Brown, as well as Dan Cannonen, Director of Battleground States, who will be here in studio presenting our path to victory and how we intend to win this thing in the fall. In addition to that, we have Elise Wade, the Georgia Democratic Coordinated Campaigns Training and Leadership Director, who will give you all the latest and greatest on ways you can get involved in this campaign. Because we need all of you to stay active and engaged in order to defeat Donald Trump and elect Vice President Harris. Before we get into the program, I wanted to make a quick pitch for the Vice President's merch store, store.kamalaharris.com, where exclusively for all of you, we are announcing 20% off if you use the discount code ORGANIZE at checkout. That's organized at checkout, folks. Look, we all know this election will be very close and decided by a small number of votes in just a few states. And as we just saw at that incredible rally in Atlanta, the momentum and energy for Vice President Harris is real. Supporters like you and all of us here on the Harris campaign are fired up to elect the vice president. Take a look at some of these stats. Since launching her campaign, we've already seen record-breaking fundraising, kudos to the team, and a surge of volunteers pouring into field offices across the battlegrounds. In just the past week, more than 3,600,000 new volunteers have joined Team Harris, which is like literally just incredible. And we are not taking any of that excitement for granted. This weekend, the campaign will be mobilizing thousands of grassroots supporters at events all over our battleground states, and you'll hear more about these events and ways to get involved later in the program.
It really has been an amazing last week for the Harris campaign. Over $200 million has been raised since President Biden's endorsement last Sunday, and 66% of that was from first-time donors, which shows a huge grassroots support for Vice President Harris. Not to mention receiving major endorsements from Barack and Michelle Obama, as well as young voters, voters of color, and many more leaders and advocates. Later in the show, Dan will talk more about our amazing coalition of voters.
The support from our winning coalition is huge, and the Democratic Party is united behind Vice President Harris's candidacy. That just 24 hours announcing her campaign, she earned enough delegates to become the expected nominee. And while the Harris coalition is unified and growing, Donald Trump and his campaign are like totally scrambling. J.D. Vance and his deep-seated disdain for women has been an historically unpopular VP pick. And hey, on top